March for Our Lives movement comes to Columbus.
The best of OSU winners.
And what's coming up in Buckeye sports? That's all right here on Lantern News Now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Suarez.
And I'm Jamela Muhammad. You're watching Lantern News Now. April is Earth Month on campus, and some are hoping to start conversations about climate change. The environmental group Defend Our Future hosted a discussion on campus on Wednesday. Students and community members gathered to talk about the impacts that climate change can have on low-income communities.
The reason we're here today is climate change is an issue that touches each and every other issue that we as activists care about. And one issue that we wanted to highlight today was that of social justice, and social inequalities are no exception to this rule.
In recent years, the national conversation surrounding social justice has become increasingly contentious. And oftentimes when we look in history books, we see movements from the past and we see how those movements mirror the movements now. And this reminds us that future generations will eventually be the beneficiaries or the victims of our choices today.
Which city will get the bid? That's what many across the country are wondering as the competition for Amazon's next headquarters continues. In January, Columbus was named one of 20 finalists for the second headquarters of the online shopping site. Although Columbus is not expected to win, Amazon spokesman Adam Cito said the potential workforce that Ohio State could provide was a factor in the city being in the top 20.
Sunday marks the start of Autism Awareness Month, and here at Ohio State, students and faculty are spreading awareness through service. The 5th annual Hospitality Listens event, hosted by the College of Education and Human Ecology, took place Tuesday night. Our own Elizabeth Suarez was there and spoke to families and event organizers about the experience.
This is a welcome environment where it's a judgment-free zone, so they can come and eat, and if 5 minutes into eating they want to come and sit down in the comfortable couches, they can do that.
Just the opportunity just to increase that awareness, I said, to me is everything.
Donuts, pizza, and breakfast food. What's not to love? The best of OSU winners are in. Buckeye Donuts was voted Best Sweet Spot, Adriatico's was voted Best Campus Pizza, and Hangover Easy was voted Best Breakfast. For the rest of this year's winners, pick up a copy of The Lantern or visit thelantern.com.
I could really go for some of that food right now.
I know those are some of the places I'm going to miss most when I graduate.
Don't worry, I'll save some Buckeye Donuts for you.
You always got my back.
Now let's check in with Lantern TV reporter Joe Matz for an update on the past week in politics. Joe?
Thanks, Jamela. On Saturday, hundreds of thousands of people participated in the March for Our Lives. The main event took place in D.C., and local marches were hosted in cities across the U.S. I attended the Columbus March to find out who the protesters were and why they were marching.
Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough!
I'm here in downtown Columbus, where people from across Ohio have gathered to demand gun legislation in the March for Our Lives. The event drew protesters of all ages, from concerned parents and teachers to students both in high school and college.
I am just tired of going to school and being afraid of whether or not I'm going to make it home. And I feel like this is one of the only ways that students, like I'm 16, I can't go out and vote, and so this is the best way to get my voice out and voice the opinions I have.
Protesters want to see reform through legislation and to reduce the power of the gun lobby.
I think we need to ban assault rifles, we need to raise the age to buy a gun, we need to get rid of loopholes like gun shows, and we need to make universal background checks for buying guns.
Later, on the steps of the State House, Congresswoman Joyce Beatty and Senator Sherrod Brown addressed the protesters.
My job is to vote against every gun bill that does not protect us.
For years, Joyce Beatty and I have been fighting against the gun lobby in For years, we've tried to get Republicans to help us. This year, because of you, it's going to be different.
In other news, 60 Russian diplomats were expelled from the U.S. on Monday. This is part of an international effort to punish Russia after the poisoning of a former Russian spy in the UK. The White House announced that it wants Russia to know that its actions have consequences, citing Russia's ongoing pattern of destabilizing activities around the world. President Trump is replacing National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster with former UN Ambassador John Bolton. Critics of the change fear Bolton's hawkish stance towards North Korea and negative opinion about the Iran deal. Advocates think that he will be a better fit for Trump. He will assume the position in early April. Now, let's check in with the sports desk.
Heads up, Ohio State fans, here's what's coming up in Buckeye sports this week. Women's tennis has a match against rival Michigan at 4 p.m. Friday. Softball and baseball both have a 3-game series starting Friday night. Women's soccer will play an exhibition match against Ohio University Friday night at 7 p.m. Both women's and men's lacrosse play host Penn State Saturday. The women will play at noon and the men will follow up at 3 p.m. Men's volleyball will take on Lewis Saturday night at 7 p.m. in St. John Arena. Now let's see what the weather will be like for this weekend.
Thank you. Now I'm meteorologist Grace Devine here at Lantern TV to give you your weather for this weekend. Outside right now we're seeing on again, off again showers which have been happening for the past day. We aren't going to see end to it quite yet, but we're seeing high temperatures at 58 and a humidity all the way up there at 95%, so it's quite a sticky day out there for us. So this is what we'll be seeing this afternoon. We have a stationary front right on over us, which is bringing this continuous rain for us today and through tomorrow as well. As we go on through this evening, we can see right here that the cold front's moving on through, which is making the rain pass on through us. So the rain will not be ending here tonight, but we will see it start to move on out as we go into Friday. Friday early morning around 2 a.m. we'll see a likelihood of snow, and the rain will continue on with us as well. But thankfully, as we go on through later on Friday, we'll start to see the rain move on out here with the cold front, and we'll see an end to it just for Friday though, because rain will be back with us on Saturday. So like I said, we'll be seeing rain on Friday, temperature 48, then it'll get back up there once again on Saturday with rain though at 58 degrees, and Sunday we'll finally see an end to it, but there'll be clouds in the sky, but the temperature will go back down into the mid 40s. So next weekend we'll see quite a little bit end to the rain, but there'll be a lot of clouds in the sky. The temperatures will be quite warm though, and we'll only be seeing rain on Tuesday. The rest of the week, there is some clouds and there is some sun, so go out there and enjoy the weather next week and stay dry. Back to you.
That's all we have for you this week on Lantern News Now.
Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Also check out the Lantern on Snapchat.
Thanks for watching and be sure to subscribe.